The day after the storm, how Saskatchewan is cleaning up. Sentencing day for a former principal of a private Christian school. Will he spend any time behind bars? And mobile mammography. Saskatchewan gets an upgrade to service northern and rural areas.
This is CTV News with Chantel Saunders.
Good evening. We begin tonight with the aftermath of yesterday's storm. The cleanup is underway across the province. Environment Canada says Saskatoon got between 7 to 13 centimeters of snow, so the shoveling continued. Plows and graders hitting city streets. The wind was the real star of yesterday's storm, blowing the snow, creating a messy situation on roads. Peak wind gusts hit 76 kilometers an hour in Saskatoon. Meanwhile, southern Saskatchewan woke up to a winter wonderland as the storm blasted its way through the province overnight. And while the commute to work was the biggest concern for many Regina residents, for others in southwestern Saskatchewan, it was just getting the power back. Jacob Carr has the latest.
The snowblowers were out in the Queen City on Thursday after a storm system passed through parts of Saskatchewan on Wednesday. The blizzard conditions and powerful winds even left many in rural communities like Climax without power throughout the night.
It can definitely get cold for sure. Luckily, our furnace was on up until about 7, so our house stayed pretty warm. My mother-in-law's place, her power was completely out. That's why we went and got her, because it does get really cold really fast out here.
Thomas said her power was restored when she woke up on Thursday morning at around 6. Sask Power officials told CTV News that in communities like Climax, the high winds, blowing snow, poor visibility, and impassable road conditions forced many workers to wait until morning to make repairs.
The conditions just weren't safe for our crews to work in to get power restored. And so a lot of them had to, stand down and wait until the conditions had improved, which is why we were out around 4 o'clock this morning to start getting to work.
The winter storm also included freezing rain in the south and made highway travel in some areas of the province hazardous. Saskatchewan RCMP received 82 reports of collisions and 25 weather-related reports from late Wednesday afternoon to early Thursday morning. That included a fatal collision near Broadview on Wednesday afternoon.
That collision occurred at the intersection of Highway 1 and Highway 201. It involved 3 semis. The driver of one of those semis was pronounced deceased at the scene. There were injuries. We're working to gather some details.
Grasser went on to say that this is just the beginning of Saskatchewan winter weather and that motorists should be prepared to postpone or cancel plans if travel is not recommended on highways. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
Well, Jeff, people probably don't want to put away their shovels just yet.
No, that would be a bad strategy because we are getting more snow. Now, it won't be as much as yesterday, but still, more snow is in the forecast. In some places that didn't get much snow, PA, I'm talking about you. Prince Albert can see about 2 to 4 centimeters into tonight and tomorrow. So maybe when all is said and done, between 5 and 10 centimeters for the Gateway City. But we do have a system brewing up in Alberta. It is going to make its way into Saskatchewan in the next 24 hours. As I said, won't be as potent as the storm we just experienced, but you are going to have to do some shoveling.
All right, thanks, Jeff. A former principal of Legacy Christian Academy learned his fate at Court of King's Bench today after being found guilty of assault earlier this year. Keenan Sorokon has more.
Duff Friesen will not be going to jail for assaulting a former student more than 20 years ago. Instead, he will serve a 6-month sentence in the community.
You know, the decision really affirms what former students of this school have said.
Friesen was convicted on one of 4 assault charges back in May, where the 68-year-old was accused of hitting students with a wooden paddle in 2003 and 2004. Friesen sat in court and listened to Justice Natasha Crooks read her decision for nearly 30 minutes, describing the offense as cruel, excessive, humiliating, and devastating, adding that discharging Friesen would be contrary to public interest. The trial stems from Friesen's time working at Christian Center Academy, which has changed names a couple of times, first as Legacy Christian Academy and now known as Valor Academy. All evidence in the trial is under a publication ban to protect a separate trial. Friesen was given a number of conditions, one of which prohibits Friesen from any any employment or volunteering that involves being in a position of trust or authority for anyone under the age of 16.
That is the biggest drive and motivation in coming forward with all of this, is that these things are not repeated.
This isn't the end for Friesen's criminal matters. He is scheduled to be back here at Court of King's Bench for another jury trial in the fall. Keenan Sorakan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A 45-year-old man has been charged by Saskatoon's hate crime unit. Saskatoon police say they received a complaint last year about a person making anti-Semitic comments online. Investigators were able to identify the person, search a home, and seize digital evidence and a gun. Brandon Taylor Moore is now facing charges of public incitement of hatred and unsafe storage of a firearm. In a statement posted online, B'nai B'rith said it reported posts Moore made online in May of 2024, which led to his arrest. The organization said Moore had been working as a real estate broker in Saskatoon before his license was revoked. Brandon Taylor Moore appeared in court this morning. He is scheduled to be back in January. RCMP have arrested a man wanted following a crash that seriously injured a pedestrian north of Prince Albert. 34-year-old Jack Sanderson was arrested on Tuesday just before 1 a.m. on the Sturgeon Lake First Nation. He was wanted after a woman was struck by a vehicle while walking on the Little Red River First Nation last week. She was taken to hospital for serious injuries. The driver took off. RCMP say when arresting Sanderson this week on the Sturgeon Lake Cree Nation, he tried to evade police before driving into a ditch and hitting a fence. He is now facing a string of charges connected to both incidents. Police are asking for help looking for a teenager from Prince Albert who might be in Saskatoon. 14-year-old Zoe Morasti, who was last seen in the 700 block of 28th Street East in Prince Albert on December 9th. She was wearing a dark brown jacket and black sweatpants. Anyone with information on Zoe Morasti or where she is should call police. A new mobile mammography unit is hitting the road in Saskatchewan, bringing breast cancer screening to women in northern and rural communities. CTV's Stacey Hine now on how it's helping with early detection.
A new mobile mammography unit will soon hit the road, replacing the bus that served communities for more than 20 years. Upgrades include a wheelchair lift and a new mammography, a specialized X-ray that scans for breast cancer, which the Saskatchewan Health Authority says is faster and uses lower doses of radiation.
It's a very modern device, and it's the same as we have at our on-site locations in Saskatoon and Regina and our regional hospitals that we use for screening.
More than $2 million was raised by the Cancer Foundation of Saskatchewan and the Kidsman Foundation to fund the unit, which will help with early detection.
The earlier we can detect cancer, the more treatments available and the better patient outcomes, because there are new treatments coming online for us to use all the time.
The Saskatchewan Cancer Agency says about 75% of breast cancers found through the Breast Check program are detected early. The mobile unit performs about 1/3 of mammograms in the province, screening roughly 7,800 patients in northern and rural communities each year.
I think it's a pretty significant step forward in terms of improving access for Saskatchewan women to screening mammograms right across the province.
Currently, the unit visits 42 communities once every 2 years, but a second mobile unit expected later in 2026 will let communities be screened annually.
When we introduce the second mobile unit, which is super exciting to us, we're almost going to double the capacity.
For now, this unit is scheduled to make its first stop in Estevan on January 5th. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Still to come, Jeff takes a check on your entertainment options. Also, why a Regina police officer has been disciplined. A member of the Regina Police Service has received a one-day suspension without pay for improperly accessing the service's database 67 times over a 3-year period. According to a report released by the Saskatchewan Privacy Commissioner, Constable Clinton Duquette accessed the personal information of 6 people between October of 2021 and June 2024. The report goes on to say minimal steps were taken in containing the privacy breach and determined the penalties imposed on the constable were inadequate. Police Chief Laura Lee Davies says she issued the suspension and says the decision was determined using the Police Act.
I have to rely on sort of case law precedents within the policing community, not just in Regina, but within the country in terms of what are similar punishments. So this was meant, I believe, to send a strong message to our organization and other organizations in the province that this type of conduct won't be condoned.
RPS says it takes these types of matters seriously, will review the recommendations in the report, and will respond to the Office of the Privacy Commissioner within 30 days. Optimist Hill opened earlier this week with the official kickoff to the ski season planned for tomorrow. CTV's Alison Bamford takes a look at how weather has shaped the slopes in Saskatoon and across the country.
This is what Tom Wilms calls his hobby job, essentially playing in the snow, pushing, packing, and piling.
And that's the final touch.
Saskatoon's Optimist Hill opened this week, a little behind last year.
This year's been a yo-yo. It's warm one day, cold the next day, and it's hard to really make good, efficient snow.
Virtually all the snow on the hill was man-made. The rest brought in from parking lots around the city.
The more snow we get falling out of the sky, the less we have to make and pay for.
Like the weather, across the country, ski season can be a mixed bag. In Banff, almost all of Sunshine Village's snow comes from the sky. A fresh dump this fall allowed for their earliest opening on record, November 2nd.
The sooner we can get skiers and snowboarders onto terrain, it packs it down, and it just is really good for the base.
Further east, a few December snowstorms have hills in Wentworth, Nova Scotia, reaping the rewards.
Right now it looks like mid-February here in Wentworth, so it's by far the best start that we've had in a long time.
Research shows the ski industry is facing shortened and more variable seasons due to climate change, but resorts believe these early starts typically translate to strong seasons.
Kids come out with their ski gear, their new ski gear at Christmas, and the vibe just keeps going into the season, right?
Back in Saskatoon, even a slow start to the snow hasn't hampered excitement.
Everybody is so happy to be outside.
Paving the way for what they hope is a successful season ahead. Alison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Coming up, Jeff on what tomorrow will bring in terms of snow, and he takes a look at Saskatoon's social scene in this week's After Hours.
Welcome back. Taking a look through the live lens of Skycam, taking a look at the Senator Sid Buchwald Bridge, and traffic moving along quite nicely, and certainly nicer than it was last night because, of course, we're looking through the live lens last night. Remember, we couldn't see through much of it at all because of the ice that was caked onto it. Keeping our eye on all this moisture still impacting parts of the West Coast, but the big storm that impacted us, that has moved off to Northern Ontario and the Great Lakes region. We are anticipating another storm coming our way, and we'll show you that on the Futurecast, anticipating maybe 2 to 4 centimeters in snow overnight into tomorrow for many locations. Minus 22 across the board for Saskatoon, Prince Albert, and the Battleford's right now. Minus 20, that was our temperature at midnight. It has not been that warm, but really minus 20 isn't all that warm anyhow. Typically, we should be at minus 10 degrees. 5 degrees is the record warm temperature from 1954. The record cold temperature minus 39 from 1924, and the sun went down at 4:55. On to our hot spot. That was Maple Creek at minus 1. The cold spot was very cold indeed. Minus 42 in Key Lake. Around the province you go. Currently, it is minus 21 in Lloydminster, minus 11 in Swift Current, minus 21 as well in Regina, and Estevan, minus 24 in Yorkton. Into central parts of the province, temperatures are straight up cold. Minus 13 degrees in Kindersley, but it drops down to minus 25 in Watrous. It's minus 24 in Hudson Bay, minus 18 in Meadow Lake. Up north, minus 32 in Stony Rapids. By the time we get down to Buffalo Narrows, it warms up to minus 19, minus 21 in La Ronge. And down south, well, we're on the minus side in Maple Creek, but just minus 3 degrees there. But look over towards Indian Head, where it's minus 25, minus 24 in Last Mountain in Melville, minus 21 in Carlisle. Making our way to our Futurecast. So here's what we're talking about. You can see that bullseye in southern Alberta sliding through into Saskatchewan. On the backside of that low pressure center, that's where we have the snow accumulating, a little bit of rain and freezing rain in southern Saskatchewan, but a snow event that will impact Prince Albert area, although they really didn't get much yesterday. Minus 20 for La Ronge, minus 32 for Stony Rapids. A chance of snow in Buffalo Narrows, minus 19, minus 24 in Key Lake. Minus single digits for Kindersley and Rosetown, but it will be a windy day. Snow expected in Meadow Lake and Spiritwood. Temperatures in the minus high teens. 2 on the plus side for Maple Creek, and warm on the plus side as well for Swift Current at 1 degree. Minus 2 for Leader, minus 3 for Outlook, and the big deal will be the winds tomorrow in the southwestern part of the province. In the southeastern part of the province, I mentioned there may be a rain-snow mix. That's certainly true of Estevan, and otherwise we're looking at snowfall. Minus 9 in Yorkton, minus 1 in Regina, 1 in Moose Jaw, and 0 in Estevan. And minus 16 degrees in Melfort, minus 8 in Wadsworth, minus 12 in Humboldt, and minus 17 in Hudson Bay. Widespread snow throughout east central Saskatchewan. Dropping down to minus 17 in the Battlefords and minus 12 tomorrow for a high. 2 to 4 centimeters overnight and tomorrow, so maybe between 5 and 10 centimeters of snow when we make our way towards tomorrow. Minus 24 on Saturday, not much warmer even as we approach Christmas Day. Christmas Day, minus 17 with mainly cloudy skies. Prince Albert's overnight temperature, minus 23. Yes, a risk of frostbite with these temperatures, maybe 5 to 10 centimeters of snow for Prince Albert. Again, staying on the cold side of seasonal right through to Christmas, minus 16 on Christmas Day, and minus 23 with 2 to 4 centimeters of snow, an additional 2 to 4 tomorrow for Saskatoon, minus 8, so above seasonal temperatures, but then that ends. A cold weekend in store and cold temperatures as we approach Christmas. Christmas Day, mainly cloudy and minus 15. Bluesman Nigel Mack is back home in Saskatoon, and he's performing Friday night at the Basement with his Big Blues Attack.
I can't find my underwear! Oh no!
Saskatoon Soap's improv comedy gets in on the die-hard Christmas movie debate with Miracle at Nakatomi Plaza. Show proceeds support Haven Kids House. Friday, 8 o'clock, the Broadway Theatre. Friday and Saturday, the Fireside Singers' Christmas Memories returns to TCU Place, 7:30 both nights. You have until Sunday to head out to Meacham and take in Dancing Sky Theatre's family-friendly comedy, Frankenpanto.
Hello, Jimmy here from Wide Open Children's Puppet Theater. You can catch me and my friends performing our Christmas show.
Wide Open's charming, colossal Christmas celebration is an interactive holiday event for the whole family. 7 performances between December 19th and 24th.
Humbug! Oh, there goes Mr. Humbug! There goes Mr. Grin!
Thanks to generous sponsors, the Broadway Theatre is hosting a pair of free family matinees. Saturday, it's the Muppet Christmas Carol, and on Tuesday, it's Elf. Showtime is 2 o'clock both days. Another holiday tradition continues as Vesti and the Vexations are serving up a Boxing Day banquet of classic R&B at the Basement. The Steadies are celebrating their newest album, Fifth Dimension, at the Capitol Music Club on Boxing Day. Also on the bill, The Lovelies and DJ Melody. Welcome back. Time to take a look at our rural forecast for Friday. And we're dealing with widespread snow in some places that didn't get snow yesterday and getting it this time around. And we're talking about 2 to 4 centimeters overnight and then an additional 2 to 4 tomorrow. That seems to be the pattern. And sort of north of the Yellowhead, you can certainly see this. And we will also have wind in many locations. Some places just dealing with just wind. But we're talking about wind gusts of, or rather sustained winds of 30, gusting to 50, and maybe even stronger winds. So there may be some visibility issues and certainly very windy, but warm conditions in many parts of southern Saskatchewan. Well, look at this range from 4 in Coronach down to minus 13 in Kenora. So certainly a wide range of temperatures there. And here we go. Hafford, minus 11 degrees. Today is your last day to vote on the Christmas displays. And then, of course, the announcement on the winners will be tomorrow. And Hafford is one of those places where internet plans of up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel.
Health authorities worldwide have approved a drug treatment for stroke that was pioneered at the University of Calgary. Researchers conducted a clinical trial with 1,600 patients on tenecteplase, a drug that's already used for heart attacks. They found it's an effective clot-busting drug for strokes, too. Administered with an IV, it saves time in situations where every minute counts. A new study out of Sweden finds there's no need to avoid the charcuterie board at your next holiday gathering. The study looks at the possibility and the link between eating more high-fat cheese like cheddar, Gouda, and Brie, and a lower risk of developing dementia. The study found that people who ate 50 grams or more of high-fat cheese a day had a 13% lower risk of dementia than those who had less than 15 grams a day. While the study doesn't prove consuming high-fat cheese lowers the risk of dementia, researchers say it does show an association. Before we go, Dakota Dunes is celebrating the completion of a major expansion project at its casino. A ribbon cutting marked the completion of phase 1 of the expansion on the Whitecap Dakota Nation. The expansion includes a smoking room and more than 11,000 square feet of additional gaming floor space. More construction is underway, and the casino is expected to unveil a new food and beverage area in the summer of 2026.
What we wanted to do is look at having a better experience, I guess, for the guests and building a better, more a smoking room with a better HVAC system, higher ceilings, and of course there's actually more machines in there as well. Because in the past, with the 600 machines we had, the 200 machines that were in the old smoking room, they generated about 60% of the revenue.
Sika says an additional 30 jobs have been created with phase 1 complete, and more will be added at the end of phase 2. All right, Jeff, we need to keep our shovels handy.
Yes, I'm afraid to say that I know a lot of people were out busy today doing some shoveling, but it looks like tonight into tomorrow, as I say, cumulatively speaking, probably another 5 to 10 centimeters of snow to deal with.
All right, that's our show. Thanks for watching. CTV National News is next.